Um, all right, thank you guys. Thank you so much for sticking with us. So like I said earlier, this is a session about the Technician Global Talent Visa, whereby Peace and myself will be taking on questions as to regards to your application for the Technician Global Talent Visa. I'm sure most of you might have watched the video made by Peace and myself when we both moved to the UK with Technician Visa. This session is an avenue to get more clarity and also get to answer some of your questions, right, that you might have asked before. I mean, you might have not gotten the opportunity to get a response to. And mind you, this is not an immigration consultation session, and it's not a session to help anybody review their technician application, right? This is just we're doing this as a form of goodwill to help people get relevant information as regards to their technician visa endorsement application. So before I take on questions from you guys, let me quickly have a brief chat with Peace about how she's been able to settle in the UK so far, and what the journey has been for her. All right, so Peace, thank you so much for doing this with me. Thanks so much. I really appreciate. So has it been living in the UK as an immigrant and a beneficiary of Technician Global Talent Visa?
I mean, it's been great. I can't complain. I don't have any regrets whatsoever. I'm not exactly missing Nigeria on the first side. So I mean, it's been good. Just there are a few things that that was new. Everything was new. It was first time I was moving to the UK. First time I was visiting the UK as well. So every single thing was new. But I also really just liked the exposure, the diversity, the infrastructure, lighting. Like it just works. So system works. I haven't had any reason whatsoever to complain. I mean, the only thing is like, so yes, the weather like during the winter was really cold, and I was like, wow, like do people ever get used to this? But even at that, I would still pick the cold while Lagos traffic. Yeah, like so, yeah, it's been really good. I've also met like a lot of people as well. People from diverse backgrounds. People, a lot of Nigerians are moving here, so it's been good to have that community here. But also just meeting people that are not even Nigerians or not even like from the UK originally. So that yeah, it's been good for me. How about you?
Well, for me so far, I'll say almost the same thing because it's an avenue to get better opportunities. There's so many opportunities that immediately I moved here, I was so honest. And being in Nigeria, I don't think I would ever have such opportunity, and that's the number one thing for me. And also, of course, diversity, meeting the people from diverse background, and also getting to understand their background. Also, you see things from different perspectives, not your Nigerian. Yeah. So basically, that I mean, it's been an interesting journey so far. So let's talk about culture shock. what are the culture shocks that you've experienced?
Everything.
So far?
Everything. First of all, I haven't seen this much white people in my entire life. I moved to my apartment here, like over like the first 3 months. I was like, the first time I saw a black person, I was like, wow!
There you go, finally.
Okay, that's definitely. And then just like contactless payments. It blew my mind. I said it in one of my videos that I felt like my iPhone automatically upgraded when it moved to the UK. And there are things that I use now on the phone.
You never use in Nigeria.
Like Apple wallets. Like it was not a thing. So just tiny things like that. Or actually wanting to go somewhere and I can say, okay, you know what, I want to get there in 30 minutes. And if I leave my house, I can actually get in 30 minutes. If there's delay in the train, tell you like yeah, I don't think I'm used to any of those things yet. But every time I see it, it reinforces the belief that oh yes, this is a good place to be at because like the exposure that it does it's doing to my mind is something that I would not have gotten anywhere else if I was in Nigeria. So plenty.
I can
Those also finding Nigeria food a lot. That's another culture shock. But yeah.
I think I can allude to that also. I mean, because coming here, I checked the time and I was like, this place, the map told me I'll get there in 70 minutes. And I took the map, I took it for it. I mean, I knew if I was in Lagos, I would need to have prepared like 1 hour ahead. Factor traffic and so many other things, bus delay, look at that breakdown. I think it's back now.
Brother reconnecting again. I'm still buffering on my end. Okay, it's back on my end.
So for me, so sorry about the interruption. So for me, yes, luckily for me, we're able to come to this country with about a 6 month supply of Nigerian food. I mean, that was my father-in-law ensured we did that. So, and again,
So
there's
it's like one whole bag was just for food.
one whole bag of food.
Damn.
I'm even surprised it's almost finished. But I think it's coming
Are
this
you
month.
able
So
to travel again?
no, someone is coming. He's coming this month. So it's bringing more for us. And they spec camp. So once in a while, I do visit the camp. We get some Nigerians to back the camp.
Yeah.
Of course, at fairly high price, but it's still worth it. So I think that's it for me. What else? Yeah, weather, like you said, that one said day. That one is the main thing. Anytime I see sun like this, I think I then start. I then begin to relate when I see the white folks coming out, and so I'm like, why are they coming out to spread themselves like clothes?
Now you get it. Yeah. I used to wonder people were like, I'm going to just talk about the weather all the time. Now I talk about the weather all the time because I'm always thinking. So I moved in summer, I moved in June, right? And when I came, someone asked me, I'm like, sun is shining, but I'm cold. Like June, July, I was like, there's sun, but I'm cold. And then when I came to November, December, and I realized that one that I was feeling in June,
It's not.
that's the best ever. So yeah, the weather has been a lot. But still, I'll pick it over Lagos.
Over Lagos.
For sure.
Okay, so another question I would like to, I'll just something I first talk about is how easy or difficult was it to settle in? I mean, as the new immigrant coming to a new country, of course, technician would not help you with accommodation, right? How easy was it for you to settle in, get a bank account, move around, rent an apartment, and all that?
I mean, to be honest, I think I had it fairly easy. Settling in was pretty easy for me. One, because I had a lot of friends, and I still have a lot of friends who are here. And I had my friend who were living together as well, who moved like a month before I did. So she had the opportunity to like, kind of just let go and find the apartment. So that was really easy. She moved for work, so likewise, the workers visa, give the apartment for one. So it was like, okay, why are you in this apartment for work? Start looking for house for us. So by the time we were paying rent, I was already ready to move, so kind of just moving like 4 days into the rent. So that was very easy, but that was just because of somebody on ground to kind of do the legwork. Getting a bank account was tougher. So I tried with Monzo. For some reason, Monzo, like almost a month, they didn't deliver my card. I tried. And then one day I was like, oh, there's actually Revolut. And I tried Revolut and like a few days later, so that's how I ended up using Revolut. It took me like, so it took me 4 months to try Monzo again after that first time before they finally got card. So it was quite annoying. So that was like, so like for a month, I didn't have a card. I was having to use my friend's own, or like go out with my friends have to like pay for stuff, and just have to transfer to them. So that was probably the most difficult part. And then sending my money from Naira to Nigeria usually before they stopped taking Nigeria account. So at that time I transferred all my money to USD, put in my GTB Dom account, use my GTB Dom card to then transfer money with Wise to my UK account. And then maybe 6 months after, I went to do the same thing again. I realized that they don't need to take any card in Nigeria. So I was like, but I'm like, okay, at least thankfully that made it a lot easier to sort of like bring some money in. So I think that was rent, that was like having a bank account. Those 2 days were fairly easy. For the rent, they basically were just asking for references. Not necessarily reference. They asked for reference for my previous landlord. So I gave them my landlord's contact in Lagos. So that's who they spoke to. And they didn't need any reference in the UK, but they asked for our offers, our different offers, exactly. So the company I'm working for paid me in pounds, and so was like just here already. So that was really easy. So yeah, that's pretty much how it was like settling in, and they just then having to now figure out like, okay, where do you go to, what's where I'm staying, what does it look like, what is the infrastructure like, how do you pay for stuff here, and that time was like lots of masks as well, so like you wear masks everywhere, and then beginning to find more people. So when I moved, I think this last 1 year, it's been like 10x the amount of people that moved before I did. Because when I moved, it was like, oh, we know a lot, and it's suddenly, or maybe it's because I'm now aware. It just felt like boom.
Everybody.
The whole Lagos.
I said that in a chat a few days ago. I was like, oh, everybody's living in
So, like, for the first 3 months, I was like, a lot. I was still trying to find a community. Now I have different niche communities, like 30, like a lot of people. So that was a bit hard at first, just not really having like a lot of familiarity, a lot of people But I think again, and it's probably with everything, by the time you kind of like stay in the place much longer, you begin to meet people start referring to other people. And so by December, I was like after 6 months when I moved here, I was like, oh, you know what? I actually do have a community. Like, got plenty here. So it feels like home, and that's probably why I don't miss Lagos so much. Because I'm like, London actually feels like home, just like a much more upgraded version of.
Someone would say London is Lagos with a working system.
Yes.
Everything, especially even with connection, a lot of people that you know around. So for me, most times, it actually just feels like I'm still in Lagos.
Yeah.
Because at one point or the other, I'm always having to go and meet somebody or somebody's coming to my house.
We had this picnic one time and we were plenty people and I said, I think I see you in my house in October. What are you doing here? I mean, you know how you just really go to like the VI and you just see people hanging out. The same way you just go somewhere here, like, you're here too. But yeah, so that makes it really good.
Yeah, so okay, let me move to this next question before we take questions from people watching. So if you're watching and you have questions, because you are the main reason we're hosting this. So if you have questions, just put them in the comment box so we're able to take them as we proceed. Just type a question or send, no, it's better, don't send it again, just type it there, right? Type it there, then we'll get to one side. So what would you say or what would you say is the benefit or has been the benefit of coming to the UK with the technician global talent for you?
I think the biggest benefit is the fact that there are no limits to what you can do with the visa, right?
Yeah.
And it's the most flexible visa in the UK. So that feels like I don't have to worry about anything. So people that come for school, by the time they're graduating, they're already thinking about what can make them stay. Now, and it's much easier because they have like a 2 years work permit, but even at that, but they're already counting down to, oh, will I find a job that will keep me here? So like there's that where people that are coming for work, if you want to change jobs, you have to look for another employer that can sponsor you. If you want to start your own business, you have to go different kind of visa, all of that stuff. But with technician, you can do all these things, right, without having to inform the Home Office. So I think that's probably one of the biggest advantages. And I knew of that before I applied and moved, but just being here and now having to speak with different people that actually have these visas that kind of like understand how they are thinking about their approach. I'm like, oh, I'm actually lucky that this is where I am because I don't think about anything except stay for as long as I need to stay, 6 months in a year, make money here and get my INR. That's like, that's the main focus. Every other thing, work, yes. If I want to work somewhere and I don't have to worry about, do they have can they sponsor me, can they not sponsor me, all of that stuff. So I think that's probably like the biggest need. But it's also like the sort of like the clout of reputation that you also get. The people you speak to, like I came to Global Talent, they're like, oh okay, yeah.
I have to say one.
And they're like, oh okay, I've passed through immigration a couple of times, and the person immigration officer will be like, oh, you have Global Talent, it's amazing. What's your talent? I don't see this awful. I've had that at least 3 times. The second time I was coming from Lagos, the last time I was coming from Mexico, even when I was coming from Aberdeen, whenever I give them like, oh wow, Global, tell me what's your talent? So that also makes me like, oh yeah, this is pretty good as well.
So now look at this.
And so I think these are probably like the 2 key things for me. Just like there are no limits to it, and just like the reputation that you get when you speak to people, like, oh yeah. I mean, it's bragging rights as well, right? It's like recognized by the UK government as someone that they actually want. So like you rush and you are the one that wants to be here. The UK government wants you to be here, and they think so. Like that's also like really good. And I think those are the key things for me. Over you.
Yeah, I think I can relate, and that's like the number one thing for me also, because I came here with my wife, but she got, so coincidentally when I got technician, she was also trying to get employment with one of the big fours in the UK. She was working with PwC, then she tried to get an employment with Deloitte UK. Then at the point of employment, the offer, so they were saying they were going to sponsor a visa and all of that. Then she told them no. I already have, I'm tied to my husband's sponsorship, so I don't need you. And I told her, see, don't let this people tie you down. Just come on my own, whatever, so that when you get to the UK, you can easily, when they're listening, just move to another employer. I think that's the number one thing for me. And of course, the bragging rights. I remember when I was trying to apply for US visa about 7-8 years ago, I was denied twice. And I was like, look at these people. Your mates UK is telling us to come, talent, you are there doing nonsense, they do nonsense. Now you go call me, don't worry, when I'm ready for you, you want to call me. So I think that bragging right, right, and of course the fact that you can easily switch job anywhere without needing sponsorship, which is a very good thing. Of course, and then they fast track for either 3 years, especially when it comes out talent, yeah, 3 years. That's a very good bragging right. Also, I mean, not a lot of people have it easy. Sometimes when I talk to people, and sometimes I try to dim it down so it doesn't seem like this person is proud of himself. Because I've heard a lot of stories of people coming to the UK. They are parts out there, have to do this, do that, to get this, to get. I'm like, wow.
They just come like that.
Just come like that. Just say something like that. Like,
yeah.
in Lagos. But I think that's a good thing. And for anybody watching, I think that's one of the things you need to also have at the back of your mind when you're applying. Like, these are the things you're going to enjoy. These are the benefits of the Technician Global Talent Visa. And try to put in your best foot when you're trying to apply, right? So let's move to the next question, right? So, which is so I know I've answered this question before. So what's the main criteria for people working in marketing? Because a lot of people have been like technician, it is for tech. Even me when I was trying to, and when I heard about technician visa, I heard about it like a couple of times and I'm like, technician, what I know I work in a tech company as marketing, but my own mind then was like, it's for core tech people, right?
Yeah.
So when I talk to people and they get to hear marketing, so I work in marketing, so I'm qualified. So what do you think is the main criteria for people working in tech? I mean, that are not core tech developers.
I think it's that you work in tech, right? So technician divides the talent into two: technical talent and business talent.
Yeah.
So business talent is marketing, content, strategy, finance. Anybody that is not a product manager, product designer, or software developer, they fall under business skills, right?
Yeah.
For the technical people, you have to just have the technical talent. So a software developer can be working in an agency, but they have technical talents, now they can apply. A product designer can be working in an oil and gas company, they can still apply. But for business talent, you now need to make sure that you're applying those your business skills in a product-led company. So which is a startup, a digital technology company, as long as it is not an agency, a big four, or an outsourcing company, they actually have a product, not a service. They have a tech product, and you're applying your HR skill, finance skill, strategy skill, marketing skill, social media, whatever it is, in that tech company, then you apply, then you qualify for it. That's like the basic criteria. That's why I've seen a lot of people who are like, oh, I've been working at agencies now, and I'm maybe an account manager or a digital marketer. I'm like, okay, if you want to get a technician visa, exactly, get into tech for real, and then spend like a year, and then you can apply for it. So that's like the basic criteria.
Yeah, that's very right. I remember I was having this conversation with a mentee, and he was like, "Thank you for this tip." He works in marketing; he's a digital marketer. But for him, so immediately he got that tip from me. What he started doing ever since then, started applying to tech startups in Lagos. He was working from question to answer because he felt like he was qualified, and I was telling him it's not just to be a digital marketer, right? You have to be working in a product-led digital tech company. And for most people, I think Nigerians, I mean, sorry to say this, most Nigerians just want or like to be spoon-fed. Most of this information are online. They are technician global talent visa, what's it called? Guideline, the visa guideline, everything is there. People just don't want to read. So please, if you're watching this, go to this video. I'm going to put all the links on this description when we're done. And the technician guideline also. Click on that link and read extensively. There's a little to what we can say on here. And even if we spend 5 hours, we won't be able to finish. We won't address everything, right? So just read the technician guideline and watch YouTube videos. Ask questions, right? I mean, this is like an avenues like this. Ask questions. So if you have questions based on what we've said so far, or based on anything you've tried to do before as regards technician and you need more clarity, just type it in the comment section and we'll address that. Okay, so let me take one more question. So for most people, the challenge for them when it comes to relocation, especially with technician, because someone was asking me when I moved, was like, so the technician, they give you job. Like, good job. I resigned though. I'm not working. I resigned my job because my company was a Nigerian-based company, so there was no how. Doesn't even make any economic sense to be living in pounds and then collecting there. It doesn't make any. So I had to resign. I was like, so what will we now be doing? I said, I'll look for a job now. Say, hey, they didn't give you a job. You have mine though. I said,
So you don't know your
sure
age
you
for
get
now.
so the fear of the unknown. Most times, I've had a couple of people, even on one lady on LinkedIn was like, I want to apply, but my fear is the fact that there's no job that comes with it. How will I get? I'm sure there's job. The person was even telling me, you've not changed your, I've not seen a new job on your LinkedIn. I was like, why are you monitoring my life? And then I even started working, I just didn't update my LinkedIn. Are you sure there's a job? I said, see, I'm not the one that will tell you there's a job or not. Do whatever, so that at the end of the day, you won't make this decision and then feel like this is a bad decision and what they force, asked you to do. So my question is, how easy is it, or how do you think people navigate that route when it comes to job search in the UK?
I think the best thing to do is to be very proactive about it. Like when you start thinking of.
Is it okay? I can't see it.
So there was a time when should I continue? So yeah, what was I stopping? Yeah, so like there's nothing different in my profile from when at that time. The only difference is location. And people always ask like, oh, a Nigerian talent, world-class talent, you want to do this kind of work we're doing in Nigeria, same kind of work people are doing here, just small, maybe different context in terms of like location. And so you actually have, if you already have experience, you have the experience enough to get a job in UK. It's just location. Like when you were saying earlier that one of the things you really like about being here is the fact that you have opportunities that you would not have been able to have access to if you're in Nigeria. That's really what it is. So if you're looking for a job, just be proactive about it. Give yourself at least maybe 4 months, right? Because recruitment will probably take like 2 months for you to resume all of that stuff. So just say, okay, I want to move to the UK in 6 months. Change your location and start applying for jobs, right? And you definitely get the issue will not be the kind of job, right? Maybe the companies, like specific companies you want, you might not get your specific salary you want, you might not get immediately. But then that's good of coming to a new country, you're almost starting from scratch more or less. So then you can get something settled in, and after 6 months or a year, you can now start aiming for the other job. And that also puts you a good pedestal because by that 6 months, 1 year, you can actually put in a resume that you're working for a UK company as well. So that just really ups antics. And so I think most important thing is just giving yourself time and be proactive. I know someone who's moving in the next couple of weeks, and the minute she decided that she was going to move, and she was working on a technician application, she started applying for jobs. That she got her visa, 2 weeks later she got a job offer, and she has not moved there. She didn't come and visit. So it's very possible to get a job, like the way you get a job anywhere. And they're actually, because there are much more companies in the UK, there are much more opportunities here than in Nigeria. The amount of tech startups in Nigeria are limited. There are a lot, but they're also limited. But here, it's every industry. There's the consulting firms, there's the agencies themselves, there's outsourcing companies, there are startups, small startups, big startups. It's the third largest tech economy in the world. So there are much more opportunities here than you get. Just put yourself out there, have a good resume, have a good experience, give yourself some time, and you definitely get a job.
Yeah, let me chip something in. So, in that line, for myself also, immediately I got my visa. I think I got my visa July or August. I started applying. Of course, it didn't come easy. I didn't get something easily because as at then, I've not even thought about changing my location to the UK. I didn't change my location to the UK until I think November or so. Then I started getting, improvements in terms of response from recruiters, and I think I got my job. I moved December 30th or so. I got my first job January 26th. Yeah, January 26th. But like you said,
I think it has stopped recording.
for a while. It's good now.
Yeah.
Is it still the same?
Yeah, it was that reconnect thing.
Yeah, it's still on.
Okay. Because I was seeing a stream.
Yes.
Both of them.
Yes. Okay, so there's a question. So, Adewale, can 2 of your references come from the same organization?
It's not, so you can have the main recommendation letter, then you can have supporting letter. So supporting letter will be what you add to your mandatory optional criteria. But then there's the 3 recommendation reference or recommendation letters, and those 3 have to come from different organizations.
Different people.
Exactly. But you can have this one from one organization, have somebody to write your
Like a
recommendation
supporting
letter,
letter or
and have a
something.
supporting letter. But 2 different people in the same organization will not work for references.
Okay, I think that's the question. Let me see if they DM. think that's the only question for now. So let's round up with this. Talking about myself or reach out to peace. I mean, at our own convenience, of course, to reply you because I don't think there's any other thing you want to know about that we've not even addressed in the videos and
To be honest, like you rightly said, right, just that people are just lazy, but like the information is literally on the internet.
yeah.
When I was doing I did ask a few people people that have done it before, like, tell me what you think about my stuff. But it was more of giving feedback on what I've put in, not
you
required to do it. Because I'm like, that guideline, that technician checklist
is what you need.
It's so detailed. Like, they will give you examples of right there. Like, so what I just did was like, oh, these are the examples. Which of these do I have something? And I'll just check, I have this example one, and I'll put it down together. So it's really not that hard. And I don't think that's something that people always think about, like, oh, the evidence has to be like something, you have to write like a lot of essays. They feel like it's more, but like it's actually pretty easy. For the quality of the visa, I think the process is actually very easy. Yeah. Just like put your mind down, read up, ask questions, watch resources, and you pretty much be good to go.
Don't be that person that will come to people's PM or emails, put me through. That's it pisses me off. Please, can you keep me up?
Put you through.
Ow. I'm not an immigration consultant. What will I put you through? I mean, if you want someone that will do all the work for you, I think there are agencies people do this. There are agencies, lawyers. Reach out to those ones, not people that are trying to give you free information and then trying to bombard them with questions all the time, right? So I think that's that about that. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Apologies for the breaking transmission at some point, right? And I hope you enjoyed the video and you've gained one or two things, right? I'll put all the descriptions to the resources, the videos, the technician guideline. Also reach out to Peace or myself, right? All right, so thank you guys. That is it. Till I see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Peace. How do I end this?